Welcome to another episode of Live with KB. I'm your host, Kendall Butler. Today we have our guest, Charlotte Miller. We're going to get into her life story and how it is to own a black restaurant here in the heart of Nashville, Tennessee. So they have a restaurant here on Jefferson Street here in Nashville. Knowing the history of Jefferson Street, how does it feel to be able to have people to come from this area, North Nashville, in the heart of the city, be able to come in?
So the best part is having people come and tell you their stories. The older community, when they found out that I was into the older part of the neighborhood that was about supper clubs and the cotillions and the teas and the bridge clubs, they came out and they gave me their china. They gave me their dishes and they gave me their stories. And there was no one telling their stories. There was no one listening to them. And our generation has failed them. One of the things we did was we felt entitled for all the things that we got. Like I said, I felt like it was perfectly okay for me to go and walk back in the kitchen because of the work they had done. But what we didn't do is we did not protect them, and we did not protect our neighborhoods and our piece of culture, and now it's in danger. Big danger. And we, as the next generation, did that. We didn't value it, we didn't protect it, and we do not invest in it. And I felt guilty about that. And I said I need to come home and do that. And that's what I did.
That's one of the big things. I mean, people don't put the money behind it.
All the time, yeah.
We put money behind a lot of other things, but not stuff that really is going to mean something to us.
And all the time people kept telling me, it's not going to work, whatever, blah, blah, blah. And I said, okay, watch me. And then at one point, I didn't even say watch me. I just said, okay.
I'll just do it.
Yeah, because every time I reached out to someone, they're like, oh, we could do this, this, and this. I said, okay, great. Where are you? What time do you need to show up? Where do you want us to be? No, you said we could do this. Let's do this. Right. Everybody was talk. No one was any action. Nobody knew how to execute. And I'm not a person of that. I'm a person of action. Right. So if you tell me you can do this, I'm going to ask you when. Right. Where do you want to? And I found that with our politicians. I found that with our religious leaders. I found it with our community leaders. All the time, they kept telling me how easy it was and what they could do and what we could do. And I said, then why haven't you?
That's when you get quiet on.
Yeah. Because when all this neighborhood was being bought up, we could have bought this for ourselves for affordable housing and do that stuff. We didn't. Why not?
Long time ago. Very long time.
Why not? You keep telling me you have all this money. You're driving around in Maseratis. You're driving around in all these cars. You don't live in this neighborhood, or you own property in this neighborhood, which is even worse, and you let it look like garbage, but you would never let that happen in your own house.
Right. No, that's deep. That's deep. But it's the truth, though. I think it needs to be told because that has happened. Like you said, we're in big danger because of that. You know, looking down the road, this was something that could have been fixed 5, maybe 10 years ago,
right.
Being in 2022. Currently sitting as we are today in 2022, who are some of your top vendors right now?
Jack Daniels, so Brown Foreman. Jack Daniels, Uncle Nearest have been the best. When I tell you, so Jack Daniels, we do all their tailgates.
I was about to ask
Yeah.
relationship.
Yeah.
How's that relationship?
So we do their tailgates, which is huge for us. We're a small black business.
Right.
And to have the Titans tailgates and to have that visibility is amazing. Also, when other people find out that we do that, especially our black customers, they're like, oh, well, if Jack Daniels can trust them, then we can trust them. Right. So that helps us get inroads into them. Uncle Nearest, because they help sponsor beverages, right. And they also specifically about women. So those are my really good vendors. And then I also have a lot of small farms that help out. Like I use a lot of stuff from the farmers market, Smiley's, people like that. They've been very helpful. One of the things I'm most proud of is that we also feed a school, a charter school. We just, because I do believe that, like again, people always say kids are the future, blah, blah, blah. We need to feed them. Okay, what are you doing? Right. So before, it's a King's Academy. Okay. And King's Academy is a specific school based on having Christian values with a multicultural, diverse class. And so if you are white and you can afford to pay for the school, then you should also pay for these Malaysian kids who are refugees too. You should pay for the Hispanic kids around the corner. So they all get together because they're like, everybody deserves a good education. And everybody, and I believe that. And I believe that everybody deserves a good meal. Because if fuel comes from food, what are we feeding our kids? And when I was looking at what other kids were getting fed at Harpeth Hall, MBA, because my ex-husband used to work there, and for the price they were paying and what we were paying for our tax dollars, it didn't match up.
Yeah, it didn't equal out. Right.
So, again, I'm a person of action. I don't just talk it, I walk it. And I was talking about it. Somebody said, "Would you be willing to do lunches for a charter school?" And there was some bumps and bruises. So I was like, "Yeah." And now, my kids, like this week, they'll get barbecue chicken, corn on the cob from the farm, and potato wedges. That's all fresh. They'll get kale salad with macaroni and cheese and meatloaf. They'll get beef tips and egg noodles and fresh green beans.
So they get food.
Yes.
It's not just no regular.
No, we don't. No. And it's funny because they'll eat things from like couscous to falafel.
Right.
And one lady said to me, she goes, "My kid was walking through the grocery store, and they're like, 'Oh, that's eggplant. Miss Charlotte makes eggplant for us.'" And she goes, "I'm not Miss Charlotte. I do not know how to make eggplant. Do not ask me to make eggplant."
You causing problems.
Yes, yeah. She was like, I started laughing.
At school, Mom.
Yeah. But the thing is, though, it's like to people all the time, I was like, if your kids don't eat vegetables, it's because of you.
Yeah.
Because you're the one who makes the food, and you are also the one who does the grocery shopping.
And tells them what to eat.
Exactly.
What to drink.
Yeah.
So,
So, yeah.
being in your line of work, how is it? And I hear you mentioning, like Blackberry Farms that you get your food from, the Jack Daniels, Uncle Nearest, the people that support you. How is it important? How important it is in your line of work to maintain good relationships?
So that's all you have. People, like especially me, like I said, I didn't have any money, so I couldn't go in and buy up things. Right. People had to know, oh yeah, she worked at the Hermitage Hotel. Oh yeah, she worked for Coppola. She worked on Necker Island. She had this amount of experience. She worked strategic, and they were James Beard nominated. And every place she's gone to and worked, they got an award or they got better. So you have to make sure you maintain those relationships, because I didn't have money to go in and buy it. So it was very important to me to always work with the best and always make sure I left the place better than I found it.
So people saw your work ethic
Right.
and also the relationships you had in the past. And it's kind of
Also passed it along, too.
okay.
So if I'm not going to do anything, I'm not going to take anything from you that I can't help you with later on. So right now, I was lucky enough to have people help me along the way. Mignon from Cupcake Collection, Molly from Juniper Green, Casa Azafran, all women and stuff. So now when I see other small businesses, yes, Energy, perfect example. She started a juice company. Bring a cooler in here. I'll let you sell juices in here. We have boxed lunches and things like that. I know a lady who makes cookies individually and stuff like that. All our cookies go through her. It's packaged through her. It has her card. So it gives her more visibility.
So once again, you're really doing it. If
Yeah.
I'm saying I'm gonna help somebody,
Yeah.
you're really helping them. That's good. That's good. So, as of right now, how is it running two businesses, and where do you see yourself 2 to 3 years from now?
It has been a growth. It's been really hard about balance. I see myself in 2 to 3 years. I'm working on a full-on empire. I really want to have a hospitality company that is black focused, and I don't make apologies for that. I want a hospitality company that is about hospitality, radical hospitality. That means you do what's best for the customer and for the community at the same time. Because a lot of times people come in and they're like, "Oh, but I'm making money," but you're destroying a community. I don't see any of those people in there. I tell all the time, don't you think it's weird that you're in a neighborhood that was all black and you don't have a single black customer coming to your place anymore? And I call them out. Yeah, something's wrong. Something is wrong. You did something wrong.
You turning somebody away.
Right.
ruffle somebody
So yeah,
else's
so
feathers.
you did something wrong. And if you don't have that, if you walk out into your dining room and it all looks homogenous, it also calls out for black people too, you've done something wrong.
Right. If you're in that community, you should have people reflecting
Right.
that in your business. Yeah.
So that's where I see myself as being part of that. And I'm hopefully, my dream of all dreams is to open up a co-op grocery store for North Nashville. A real, that's going to help with food security issues, but also help with nutrition and help with economics. Because what I learned through other people, through volunteering, is that food, you can't do the other stuff if the basic things aren't taken care of. Food, shelter, security. And we need real food.
Yeah. So being a business owner yourself, what advice would you give someone that's thinking about starting a business up, whether it's a restaurant or just a business,
Business
period.
in general.
Business in general. What kind of advice?
Do it. Just you stop talking. You're gonna fail. There's never a perfect time. I did this during COVID, when first of all, it was a tornado. So first we had a building, and the tornado came through, so we lost that. And then a week later, I was like, okay, we're ready to get started. And they're like, COVID, go sit down. Mother Nature said, time out. And then I was like, okay, and I didn't give up. I pivoted, and I did smaller parties, and I called. I used every resource that we had, and I just kept pecking away at it. Is it the way I designed it originally? No. Am I finished with it? No, but I'm doing it. And everybody else, the difference between people who have businesses and people don't, because everybody's like, oh, I had that idea. Well, everybody has the same idea. I hate to break it to you. You know, there's coffee shops all over the place. There's catering all over the world. That's not something new. They've been doing it for thousands of years. The only difference is you got to do it. And you got to be willing to fail. You got to be willing to get back up and do it again and keep going. You got to go and go. And my father said just one day, if you can look up, you got to get up. So if you're on your back and you fell and you can see up, you got to get up. So keep moving.
That's perseverance for you right there. Ending this off, how can people reach out to you, whether they want catering services from Mama Blanche or have an event here at Yaya's?
Oh, great asking. So if you need any type of catering, we can do it through Mama Blanche, and that's at mamablanche.com. And you can reach us there. There's also a cell number. Also, at Yaya's, we're here from Tuesday through Friday, 10 to 4. And then we also have catering here. You can also reach us on our website, Yaya, spelled Yay, Nashville. And the reason why is because people are like, Yaya. I'm like, no, it's like, yay, say. It's my great grandmother's name. So it's like, and I love when people tell me, I've sat in rooms with people like, it's Yaya. And I'm like, I'm the owner. It's Yaya. It's my great grandmother's name. So it's Yay, Nashville. And there's an inquiry page. Fill it out, and we'll set up a time. And we can do everything. And people like say it all the time. I was like, no, I literally can do everything. I have enough vendors and friends where we've even had a full-on we did a Japanese, it was for Equity Alliance. We did a Japanese whiskey tasting here with all Japanese food for a party. And then, because we just wanted something different. Right. Yeah, it was like, because you don't need to eat chicken wings and waffles everywhere.
Correct. You gotta add something different.
Yes.
Okay.
So and coming from my background, like I said, fine dining, and coming from catering from the Hermitage Hotel, I have done just about everything and working with almost every event planner. So there aren't things that I cannot do or cannot source and know where to get. And that's why you come to us. You come to Yaya's because I know. There's 20 years of experience here. You come to me because I know how to order, I know who to get it from, and most of the times I already have it. So I can do it without you having to do it. So you don't have to pay the deposits. You don't do any of that other stuff. You don't have to do the legwork. You call me, or actually call Jason, my sales and marketing guy, and he will come in and we will get a plan together, a budget together for you. Actually, you tell us your budget, and we'll work around that and tell you what we can offer. And then you don't have to think about it anymore until you walk in.
That is pure confidence.
That's 20 years of experience.
Right. Pure confidence and exposure to a lot of things. So that's good. I appreciate you coming by live with KB. I wish you the best in all your future endeavors. I know you got a lot of stuff planned. I know you're talking about your coffee shop that you're planning on opening soon in Springfield. So with this year, opening up, I know you opened this up during COVID. So with, school about to start here in college, and hopefully a lot of people get to see this and come out and support it. It's a beautiful place inside and out.
And you can't miss the flowers on the front porch.
Right. Can't miss it. It has it right here in the heart of Jefferson Street. So we appreciate it, and we'll be in touch again.
All right. Thank you so much for coming.
Yes, ma'am. All right. Thank you for stopping by live with KB. See us next time. Have a good one.